Welcome back everyone. We continue with our journey with the Key of Transfiguration. But before we get into it, let's light a flame of hope and love and peace and creativity for the world. And there we have it. May all beings benefit. Right. This is exciting. Right, let's see where we are as we develop our painting. I did do a little bit of lifting. There's a definite, almost like an X movement of light that is focused here at the sort of point where the key is touching the water. So I sort of did go a little bit too far, but that's okay. Anything can be adjusted as we go. So for this session, I want to build in a little bit more of the shadows on the trees, and then we will take it from there. There is a lot of layering that is possible in this painting. So I'm going to use my number 1 quill brush. Let's just spray our watercolors. I am trying to record as much as possible today, and then I can sit and edit as the week sort of progresses, because it's quite a busy week and I only have today to film. So I want to try and get as much of the filming done today and then take it from there. Right, so looking at my trees, I need a bit of green. So I'm going to use my green that I've got here. We're going to dull it down with the complementary color. And I think I'm going to be using my alizarin crimson. That's sort of what I hope this is. I haven't painted with my bigger palette in a while, so I sort of forgot what some of the colors are. Right, so there we have a more neutral greeny brown. I'm going to add a little bit of lamp black to deepen it. Let me use my kitchen towel and just get an idea. That feels good. Okay, so let's work on these trees. We need to deepen the shadow side. And begin to bring in a little bit of contrast here. There we go. And then I'm going to use a clean brush, clean damp brush. Oh! As it flies out of my hand, I'm just going to soften the edge here. Just wipe that off. I don't have space. Let's put the brushes there. Maybe that's what it wanted to show me. Okay, so for this tree, I'm going to use my damp clean brush to add a little bit of water to the tree here so that it can soften. And then I'm going to use this color on the left hand side. And ground it there. That's feeling a lot better already. Not a lot of shadow in there because of the light source. I'm sorry if my wizard hat keeps getting in the way. I mean, honestly. Right. Now I can lean into my lamp black. I was hoping that's still a little bit damp, to really develop the shadow here. Bring a bit of texture. Be gentle with the black, don't bring it in too quickly, says I, as I slosh copious amounts of black onto my tree. Feels a little bit hard edged to me, so I'm going to just soften that. Now the same with this tree on the right. Believe it or not, it can still go a bit darker. Get into my browns and grab a little bit of my black. I'm constantly reminding myself to go off the badge so I don't have these funny triangles at the top. A little bit more lamp black there on the far edge. Dancing on the toe of my brush in that wet paint to really deepen this. Avoiding the left hand side where the light is catching the tree trunk. That feels better. That must dry completely before we go in there. Right, I thought that the background needs a little bit of a unifying wash and there's too much yellow for me. I want to just cool it down a little bit, so let's lean into that translucent teal. Teal might be a little bit strong. I'm going to add some turquoise and the opposite of that would be a little bit of an orange. I'm going to add a little bit of pyrrole orange just to bring that down a little bit. bit of Payne's Grey to deepen it. That feels good. Okay. I'm going to start this side and let's just give this a wash. I'm going to be very mindful now not to touch my tree. I think I'm putting so much pressure on myself to perform here. It's okay, Gideon. Enjoy the process. I'm going to lean into my indigo blue here. Maybe just strengthen some of this forest, yeah. That feels a little bit better. It's maybe a fallen tree that's there. And then as we go into this light, I'm just lightly going to touch my lemon yellow. To blend. That feels better to me. Nice. Most of the time, if something's not working for me, then I know that the contrast is off. Okay, that feels a bit better to me. Okay, this tree on the left is dried. So now I can lean a little bit more into the brown and the black. So I'm using, I think this is my sepia and my lamp black. So let's add a little bit more contrast here. Needs to be a little bit more cool. Let's talk a little bit about the bark and ground it here Feels a little bit better to me. On the light side, I will always try to just soften some of this edges. That already feels a lot better to me. This side can still go a little bit darker. Cool, let's leave it at that. Right, the background feels a little bit more sorted out to me. I'm going to get into this green here. Add a little bit of my turquoise to it. Get it a little bit cooler. Just mix a little bit of my turquoise into that. Add a lot more water as we come down. The turquoise always adds a magical sort of element for me. It feels a little bit more ethereal. Right. Using lots of water with a bit of turquoise to bring into this water. Now, if you do overwork an area that needs to be lighter, you can always use a little bit of gouache. Don't panic. That's what I'm trying to share with you guys. I'm going to go into my lamp black, quite concentrated now. And I'm going to focus on the bottom bits of the rocks. Trying to keep my hat out of your view. It's challenging sometimes. As we move up, I'm going to mix a lot of this dark olive green into my black. And I'm just going to very lightly dance over here and just talk a little bit about some plant-like structures. I think I'm going to switch to my river brush. it's much finer, so I can flick and looks better. Yes, please. Okay, that's starting to feel a little bit more like a wetland of sorts. Just using the yellow to amplify where the light is catching this embankment here to my advantage. And then getting back into the black. Again, focusing more on the bottom of these rocks and leaving some negative spaces here and there. Careful here now not to overwork that again. That feels so much better to me. Cool. That's maybe a bit straight. Right. I'm feeling this is in a very, very good place. Let's just play here with this embankment a little bit. And back into that yellow. Very important light cast here. Then like a mossy yellowish environment. Almost like honey. Nice. Thank you, yellow, for showing up. It feels so much better. I think this is the advice I want to give you. With any medium, with any painting, you have an ugly phase, and it's usually in the ugly phase when we give up, when we say this isn't working, and we let it go. But you're at a stage where you're starting to define your values, the light and the dark, and to do that in color can sometimes be challenging for the eye to mix the right value, especially in watercolor if you've lost a little bit of your brightness. Always remember there is such a thing as gouache. You can always save your painting by bringing a few highlights back and using that as a way to lighten your color. But we're not there yet. This is all just pure watercolor yet. I know that this lemon yellow is going to dry a little bit softer, but it gives me a ground to play on later because it's such specific highlights. And it's right next to the darkest area in the painting. But look how much atmosphere is already created. I feel that we've now got the container for our beautiful transfiguration tier, our transfiguration key. And I did lose my small butterflies, but I've decided I will paint them in later at the end with gouache, because it gives me that opacity, so no stress in that. The most important thing here is to just work on your values and create that beautiful atmosphere, and then we can take it from there. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching. This is coming along beautifully. I think in the next episode I might be ready to remove the masking fluid, but make sure that this is bone dry before you attempt that. So I'll see you guys in the next episode. Thanks for watching. Bye bye for now.